Hello there and welcome. I'm so very glad you decided to join me today. Why don't you find a nice, cozy spot to settle into? Because we are about to take a trip to a truly magical place. It's a world filled with the bravest heroes, one very, very grumpy king, and a secret weapon that, well, you might just find it hiding in your own kitchen. This is a story about a hidden danger and the surprising way a group of wonderful friends learned to fight back. So let your imagination get ready to play because we're about to dive right into the amazing tale of the magic forest. Now that's a funny question, isn't it? Usually, when you think of a villain or a bad guy, you can picture them in your head. But the enemy in our story today, well, he's a little different. He's sneaky, he's quiet, and the worst part of all, he's invisible. This is the story of how the happy, cheerful animals of the magic forest suddenly found themselves facing a sticky, tricky problem that nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. Deep in the heart of the magic forest, everything was just about perfect. You see, not long ago, the brave veggie monster had helped everyone defeat the grumpy cavity germ army with his amazing bubbling green potion. After that, the forest was just filled with happy sounds. The birds seemed to sing brighter songs, and the little animals laughed and played all day, their teeth sparkling like tiny, perfect pearls in the warm sunlight. But far, far away, in a deep, damp, drippy cave where the sun was too scared to even peek, someone was not happy. Not happy at all. It was the defeated Cavity King, and he was stomping his feet so hard that little pebbles were bouncing right off the cave walls. Stomp, stomp, stomp. His crooked golden crown wobbled on his head with every single angry step. Grrr, that veggie monster, he growled, and his deep voice echoed all around the gloomy cave. His little germ minions shivered behind a big mossy rock. He taught all those animals to eat those dreadful, crunchy vegetables. Our beautiful candy houses that we worked so hard to build on their teeth, they've all been destroyed. We must get their teeth back. But this time, the Cavity King had a plan that was much, much sneakier. He ordered his entire army to work for 3 whole days and 3 long nights, stirring giant bubbling pots over a green fire. They brewed 100 barrels of a strange, sweet syrup. It was a very special, very evil syrup because you couldn't see it and you couldn't even smell it. But it was the stickiest thing in the entire world. That night, under the tiny sliver of a crescent moon, the germ army crept out of the cave on their tiptoes and poured all 100 barrels right into the animals' favorite sweet juice lake. The next morning was absolutely beautiful. The sun peeked over the green hills, and all the little animals who were so thirsty from their long night's sleep scampered down to the lake. This juice tastes extra yummy today, chirped a little squirrel with a fluffy tail. It's so sweet, they all agreed, drinking and giggling happily. But later that afternoon, a strange quiet started to fall over the forest. It began with Little Bear, who started to whimper. "Mommy," he cried, his voice all wobbly, "my teeth feel heavy. It feels like they're all wearing sticky, gooey coats and I can't take them off." Soon, all the other animals started to feel it too. They rushed to the edge of the lake to look at their reflections in the water, and a great big gasp went through the crowd. Their once bright, shiny white teeth were now covered in a horrible, slimy, grayish film. No matter how much they swished and swashed with water, it just wouldn't wash away. When Veggie Monster saw the sad, worried faces of all his friends, his own kind heart felt heavy. He looked carefully into Little Bear's mouth and saw that the sticky gray gunk was absolutely everywhere, hiding in every little nook and cranny between his teeth. He tried his famous green vitality potion, the one that had worked so well before, but this time, it was no use. The potion just slid right off that slippery film. His clever broccoli floret ears, which always wiggled when he was thinking very hard, began to spin like little green radars. "Don't you worry," he said, and his voice was full of warmth and kindness. "This sticky goo is very tricky, but nature is even trickier. I will go to my garden. I am sure I will find an answer there." Veggie Monster hurried to his peaceful vegetable garden. He stood very still, closed his eyes, and took a deep, deep breath, smelling the rich, dark soil and the sweet scent of sun-ripened tomatoes. He needed to think. He walked past the leafy green spinach and the bright orange peppers, his mind searching and searching for an idea. And then his eyes landed on a tall stalk of celery, standing up proud and strong. He noticed it had long, straight lines running all the way from its root right up to its leaves. Feeling very curious, he picked it up and snap! He broke it right in half with a crisp, loud crack. And that's when he saw it. Inside the celery were dozens and dozens of long, tough, stringy lines. In that very instant, a brilliant idea sparked in his mind like a little firefly in the dark. Ding! Of course, he shouted to the bright blue sky, a huge, happy smile spreading across his face. I remember my grandfather telling me about this. These aren't just strings, they're plant fibers. They are nature's secret cleaning crew. They're like thousands and thousands of tiny, tough scrub brushes that are hidden right inside the vegetables. He suddenly realized that if the animals chewed on these amazing fibers, the little brushes could get into all those sticky spots and physically scrape away the gooey gray mess. It wasn't a magic potion they needed this time, it was a scrubbing army. With his heart racing with excitement, Veggie Monster looked at his wonderful garden with brand new eyes. It wasn't just a garden filled with yummy food anymore. It was an armory filled with weapons for a great battle. He moved with a new purpose, carefully selecting the toughest, the crunchiest, and the most fibrous vegetables he could possibly find. He was no longer just a gardener. He was a general, assembling a mighty army to save all of his friends. Every single vegetable he chose was absolutely perfect for the big battle ahead. Veggie Monster looked at his garden with a general's sharp eye. First, he chose the celery, long and strong, just like a mighty sword, perfect for sweeping away the enemy. Next, he picked the bamboo shoots, with their layers of crisp, hard armor, ready to break right through any defense. And finally, he pulled up the bright orange carrots from the earth, their pointy tips shining in the sun like a warrior's spear. He filled a huge woven basket with these incredible fiber warriors and marched proudly back to the center of the forest. He returned to find all the animals huddled together, looking so sad and worried. He lifted his basket high in the air for everyone to see. "My dear friends," he announced, and his voice boomed with confidence. "The time has come to fight back. We have a new weapon, a new strategy, and we will win. Prepare yourselves for the Katsu teeth-protecting battle." Little Bear looked at the big, hard carrot in the basket and whispered,
"But Teacher Veggie, my teeth feel so sticky and weak. I'm scared to bite something that hard."
Veggie Monster knelt down beside him and handed Little Bear a piece of celery. "Little Bear," he said softly, and then he looked up at all the other animals. "Listen to me, everyone. The thing those cavity germs are most afraid of isn't a magic potion. It's you. It's our own strong, brave teeth. These vegetables are our weapons. Today, we will use our own power to chew, and we will tear down that sticky fortress." Inspired by his brave words, Little Bear took a small, hesitant bite. Katsu! A crisp, sharp sound broke the silence. He looked surprised. It didn't hurt at all. He took another, bigger bite. Katsu! Seeing his courage, Little Rabbit grabbed a carrot. Katsu! Katsu! And soon, a wonderful, amazing sound filled the entire forest. It was a symphony of crunching. Katsu! 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 It was the sound of bravery, the sound of everyone fighting back together, their fear completely gone, replaced by the powerful, happy rhythm of the crunch. And deep inside their mouths, a total panic was breaking out in the world of the cavity germs. They had been lounging around in their gooey castles when suddenly their whole world began to shake. A giant stringy green broom, it was a celery fiber, came sweeping down from above. "It's an earthquake! A green tornado!" shrieked a little germ soldier as his sticky wall was swept clean away. Their slimy houses and their gooey playgrounds were being completely demolished by the powerful Katsu force of the fiber warriors. "Now for the final attack," shouted Veggie Monster. "Everyone, take your biggest piece of carrot. On the count of 3, we will bite down with all of our might. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. All together, the animals took one enormous, powerful bite. Ka-crunch! The sound echoed through the forest like a clap of thunder. And then, silence. A truly magical thing happened. Little Bear felt that heavy, sticky feeling on his teeth completely disappear. He cautiously licked them. The slime, it was gone. He opened his mouth, and a brilliant flash of white light shone out. His teeth were clean and sparkling once again. Everyone's teeth were. They had won. From his gloomy cave, the Cavity King had been watching everything through his big telescope. When he saw that bright flash of clean, white teeth, he was so shocked he dropped his bucket of popcorn, and his crooked crown tumbled right off his head and rolled away. He and his entire germ army ran away as fast as they could, vowing never to mess with the powerful crunch of the magic forest ever again. Back by the lake, the animals were cheering and dancing. Veggie Monster did a happy broccoli dance and then gathered everyone around. "We did it," he said, "and now we must always, always remember today's victory formula." And this was the very important victory formula he shared with everyone. First, always remember that sweet foods can sometimes turn into sticky little villains. Second, it's so important to brush your teeth every morning when you wake up and every night before you go to sleep to wash away most of the germs. And third, our new secret: if you ever face super stubborn gunk, bravely call on the fiber warriors. Use your own strong teeth to crunch, katsu katsu, and sweep all those bad guys away. And that's the big, important lesson from our story today. Taking good care of our teeth is about more than just brushing with a toothbrush and toothpaste. It also needs the powerful, scrubbing clean that comes from eating crunchy, fibrous foods. They are nature's very own toothbrushes, always ready and waiting to help us win the battle for a healthy, happy smile. And now, I have a very special mission just for you. What other brave fiber warriors might be hiding in your refrigerator or on your counter at home right now? Maybe it's a crunchy apple, or a crisp piece of bell pepper, or even a handful of yummy nuts. Why don't you talk with your family and see what kinds of super vegetable weapons you can find to protect your own amazing teeth? Be a hero, just like Veggie Monster. And until our next story, keep crunching and keep smiling.